Well, hello there. My name is HW. Woo-hoo-hoo. I don't know. I've been feeling chorus lately, and so I put some in these new profiles. If you haven't seen them, you got to check it out. It's the free update to the 68 Purple Plexi. Now, I got to tell you, owning this amp has just been such a joy. I've played these profiles, and I've played the amp just so much. And it really is the kind of like the crown jewel of the Tone Junkie collection. You know, it was the mystery amp and the big unveil, and I had purple hair for a while, and you know, it's still having lasting effects on my look. But I really, I wanted to go back and visit them because quite honestly, I got some feedback from people that they weren't 100% happy with them. Now, I got to tell you what I did differently with those first V1 profiles. So I got that amp and I really wanted to just deliver what I thought was a great like sound, you know, and I tend to lately put a lot of my amps, I tend to not play them in the room a ton, but I get them in the booth almost immediately. And the reason I do that is one of the things I've learned over time is that miking an amp is as important to this finished sound as, you know, the speakers or the tubes or pretty much anything else. Especially with Fender amps, I've learned that the sound you get is really all about miking. You can mic blackface amps to sound warm and fat, and you can mic them to sound much more like later Silverface amps, you know, really sort of scooped and thin. And, you know, that makes sense if you think about it. Not all frequencies come from all spaces on the speaker. And so having, especially like dynamic microphones that have a very small area that they're picking up sound from, the position, off axis, on axis, all these things really work strongly to impart a sort of mic'd EQ. Whereas the ear of a human, you know, we sort of listen to amps when it's filling the room and we're getting a lot of reflection and stuff. So a lot of times we're getting a lot more frequencies bouncing back at us that a microphone is not going to get, because it's really designed to not pick up all the reflection and all the things, but really designed to be focused. Now, of course, you know, ribbons are different than dynamics and all that stuff. But all that to say, I was using a little bit of a different signal chain at the time and really started playing that amp and my setup with records. And that's why you'll hear those V1 profiles really are a little, they don't quite have the full 412 feel in the low end. They're a little less airy in the highs compared to these new ones. And you're going to find a really strong mid push. And that really just came down to me dialing in the mics and, you know, really getting that setup going, using a little bit of EQ that was on some of the pre's, but it's just a different sound of the same amp. Now, with this one, I pulled the amp out. I've been playing it ever since I released those profiles, and these V2 profiles for me really try to capture more of what the amp sounds like in the room. And so you're going to notice a fuller bottom end, airier top end, a ton more just of that 412 bigness, right? And it just sounds killer. I left in some really cool effects that I thought were great. I sort of retouched on the effects. I added a new Kemper drive here. So I did leave in the original green scream, and you heard at the beginning the clean. Here's with the green scream. It's a beautiful, beautiful sound with that sort of green screen pushing the front end. Also, we did a little Kemper drive here, and this is really more to give you like a, to me, like a like a Timmy kind of, or maybe even something like a brighter blues breaker-ish type of thing. Just in front of a Marshall is a cool, little sound. The reason I gave you that was, to me, this, at these settings, it sort of mimics turning the gain up a little more. So maybe you're just playing around and you want to kind of get this thing going. I don't know, to me, that's just, it's a cool way to jump up to, a little more gainy of a sound. You're gonna find a couple different things in here. In the V1s, M profiles had the matching sort of purple cabinet. In this one, we just took off the M to make some of the naming a little clearer. And to me, it's, the M is how that amp sounds with the matching cab. So if you don't see an M or an H, it's got the matching cabinet in V2, if you just see V2. This one is V2H13, and this is just with the orange cabinet that I have, and it's just the heavier magnet speakers. I wanted to throw those in as well. Like I said, I've got the EQ on right now if you play along at home, and it sounds a little different. I also added just a really fat EQ up here, where if you just have a thinner guitar and you really just want to fatten it up, you can kind of get this sort of thing. Probably like HW, that fatness sounds like chorus. Well, I accidentally turned chorus on. Without it, it sounds like this. Where I really like to use that is on a brighter guitar, kind of in the bridge. Fatten that up. You still get a lot of that that twanginess, but you don't quite get the thinness of it, which is really cool. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I put on some vintage chorus on this thing, and I am just in love with this sort of. That's some tone. If you want to hear some of the heavier stuff that's in there, it sounds like this. And if you're looking for the cleany, bluesy, those Marshall beautiful cleans, it sounds like this. and that is the V2 Purple Plexi 68 Purple Plexi pack from Tone Junkie. It's now V1 profiles are all still in there. Will I do a V3? I don't know. Depends on if I feel like it or not. Maybe one day, sure. I'll maybe add some pedals and stuff just along the way. I might even just do some overall free profiles. But if you bought this pack already, it's 100% a free upgrade. I would not charge you guys again kind of for the same amp, same thing, without doing something really special to make it different, you know. But I feel like if it's just a, you know, anyway, I wanted to give you guys these for on the house and just expand the pack, you know what I mean? If you haven't filled out the form on the website, please fill it out, send it over. We're all caught up on our end. So if you filled it out and didn't hear back from us, check your spam, or maybe we had a problem getting a form, but just either submit it again or send me an email directly. I will get everybody their updates. You know, it was a little hard right at the beginning last night, a lot of people, but I think some forms might have either they didn't get to me, or a lot of people, I'm having a hard time with iCloud accounts, .Mac accounts, and ME accounts. That those accounts, for some reason, your email providers do not allow attachments. So I've got to look you up, send it through the system, do all that. I normally do that, but I'm having a really hard time with iCloud. I don't know why. It seems like 90% of the people who don't get it are iCloud people. Oops. I don't know what to do about that. I'm sending it through Squarespace, through my email. It's like, I don't think it's the servers being blocked, but I don't know. Shoot me an email directly. I'll get it to you somehow. I'll figure it out. And usually on the second try with everybody, it's kind of been working. So yeah, thanks so much. My name is Ben HW, and you've been watching Tone Junkie TV. HW out. Please enjoy the profiles. And also, there's some freebies if you're on the email. I just sent them out. Some people asked for some freebies. So there you go. HW.